To this, y'all, about cows, cows, chickens, and pigs. Listen.
Cattle farms in Wisconsin and along the Susquehanna River in Pennsylvania.
In terms of just damage to the ecosystems, the destruction of entire ecosystems, of aquatic communities, of fish going extinct, there's nothing as bad as as these factory farm operations. Nothing.
So to save the bay, the EPA says it's essential to get control over the animal manure. What's made that hard is deciding just who's responsible for all that manure. To understand how the chicken business is organized and how it's run, I checked in with Carol Morrison, a successful Purdue grower for many years.
Typically, the farmer has a contract with the company, whether it be Purdue, Tyson, whoever, and you contract to raise their chickens. They own the chickens. They just drop them off on the farm for us to raise to a marketable age. And then they come and pick up the chickens, take them for processing.
When Purdue required that Morrison modernize her chicken houses at a cost of $150,000 or more, she decided to get out of the business. This is her last batch of Purdue chickens. Now, what's the relationship here? Do you bargain with one company or another as a grower?
There's no bargaining in the contracts. Contracts are designed by the company, brought out to the farm, and you either sign it and get chickens or not sign it and not get chickens and ultimately lose the farm.
So you're saying that the processors dictate the terms. They
Yes.
run the show.
Yes, the processors dictate all of the terms.
The terms are very specific. The big chicken companies own the chickens, supply the feed, dictate the growing regimen, do all the processing. They own it all, except the chicken waste.
Well, anybody else who owns an animal is responsible for their waste. If the company owns the animal, why are they not responsible for their waste? I've never understood that. I have horses, I have a dog that's outside, I'm responsible for their mess. Now, chickens are owned by these companies like Purdue and Tyson. How is it they're not responsible for it?
Help me understand one thing. How do you wind up by owning the chickens, owning the feed, and not owning, in the sense of legal responsibility, the manure?
The manure is considered a resource, actually. The producers want the litter. They want the chicken litter. It's not a matter of who owns or doesn't own it. It's a matter of what uses are being made from it.
As factory farming has grown, the volume of excess manure has mushroomed, and there's been an increasing push to regulate farm pollution. But American agriculture has fought off pollution controls for 3 decades.
The whole agricultural community has remained maybe the last big or the biggest unregulated, largely unregulated area of water pollution. And it's why EPA tells you across the country agriculture is responsible for 60% or something like that of our water quality problems.
We are talking the equivalent of medium-sized cities in terms of the waste that is generated that is virtually untreated going into the Chesapeake Bay. And
So cities have their waste treated, go through